politics of sectarianism and the Sunni Shiite geopolitics.
The first point, I mean, I'm not sure what's happening with the scholarship. When Salman, it was Abdullah who basically reinstated the scholarship program after 9/11, in the early 2000s, which had been cut in the 1970s, in the 1980s, partly in response to demands from the clerics, who had been handed half the keys to the kingdom after the assault on the Grand Mosque at Mecca. And they cut overseas scholarship for precisely these reasons. You know, we're not going to send anybody to the countries to be affected by these whole notions of liberalism. Then Abdullah deliberately, massively boosted it, precisely because he didn't want anybody to go overseas and get the mindset. The issue then, of course, was jobs, because this has always been the issue. Then Salman came in, and it did look like they cut the funding. Now, whether this is a permanent cut or whether this is just a response to budget deficits and the rest of it, I don't really know.
We did have a visiting member of the royal family who was from one of the more influential sides, who intimated to us the concern that this related to you.
I think there was a lot of talk when Salman became king that he was more conservative, more socially conservative, not necessarily religious, not necessarily in a political sense, but he was more conservative than Abdullah. And I think it is true that Mohammed bin Salman had been cultivating the ulama, because this was part of the way in which he got himself back into the game. If you look at what he's doing now, basically, I think testing to see how far the power of the ulama can extend. So I think it's still out on that. The jury is still out. Of course, places like KAUST or Aramco. I always thought of them as spaceships. Saudi Arabia is sort of a country of spaceships. You go to Aramco, everybody, it's like here. Everybody, it's like here. When we go on the campus, everyone's wearing Western clothes and this and that. The same at KAUST, which is one of the reasons it's very difficult to get into KAUST or get into Aramco if you don't work there. Now they're trying to expand the number of those spaceships. Other spaceships were the compacts that people had. I remember, of course, Valentine's Day is banned in Saudi Arabia because there's a whole Christian festival. But I remember 2 years ago being invited by the chief of the head of World Protocol for a party on the 14th of February. And going along, it's a huge compound, had at least two palaces, a massive stud with beautiful Arabian horses. He collected Batmobiles. He had about 10 of them in the store in the gallery. And we go in, and it's this huge twin hall with the finest champagne all night, and red and yellow roses on the tables. Now, is this hypocrisy, or is this just the price you pay for having these spaceships? Now, Mohammed bin Salman was talking about having a tourist island now off the coast of Jeddah, by international standards, whatever that means. And he's talking about tourism, not just religious tourism, but tourism outside. So some of this, it's a bit difficult to interpret the language that they're using on this. My guess is that if this starts working, and it's not a given that this will work, particularly the issue about jobs. I think this is high risk. Other things will follow, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Turkey, yeah. Well, I think I'm not an expert in Turkey. I observed it from, but 10 years ago in Foreign Office, one of my colleagues was saying that Turkey is fantastic. This is a model for how you integrate political Islamists into democracy. Well, it turns out not to be these days, I think. And it's interesting. Saad Qutb's brother, Mohammed Qutb, he was released in the early 70s in jail and went to Saudi Arabia and was given a job at Al Qura University down in Nigeria, and taught there, refining his brother's thinking about Tawheed, about Hakami, all these sort of concepts that could have put in the mix. And he was instrumental in a lot of these education of these Sahel sheikhs. Erdogan came to Saudi regularly, and when he came to Saudi, he would go down and see Mohammed Qutb. Mohammed Qutb's son, Osama bin Mohammed Qutb, is in business with Erdogan, who is Erdogan's was joint Turkish-Egyptian. It's a weird mixture of things. I was looking the other day at a photograph of Erdogan being kissed on the forehead with remarkable spectacles by a man called Mehdi Harati, who was one of the leaders of the Islamist militias in Libya in 2011, based in Dublin actually. But he was so. A lot of this, it seems to me, like a lot of everything else in the Middle East, is about personal networks. And if you look, you have to look in great detail at these personal networks to work out what's going on. Anyway, I think the Turks overestimated, and you guys will know more than I do, the influence of the Turkish model on the Arab Middle East. Because I think, quite honestly, and no offense to any Turk who's here, because the same could apply to the British or the French, I think he massively overestimated the love that Arabs have for Turks. Any more than they have love for the British or French or anything like that. And you can't read across in that way. You might have been able to do it in the 1920s. We were talking about this earlier. I think in Iraq, if you had a referendum in Iraq in the 1920s, my guess is that the majority of the population, certainly in the north, maybe in the south, would have said, we're autumn, and we'd like the Ottoman Empire. But it's not like a, I think it's, but Erdogan, and of course he comes out of this Nojli tradition, mystical, which is very similar to some of the things that Hassan Banna was talking about, particularly, but it's also distinctive. But I don't think it's done the image of political Islamism in government any good itself.
I'm intrigued with your analogy of the Westphalian process, and I'm guessing there was an awful lot of bleeding and pain that went in to inspire that. I'm more doubting if maybe the Middle East is at that level of pain yet. So we can wait for that, but maybe an easier approach could be to go in and say, okay, we're beginning to see this emergence of these large solar array electrical generation processes. And what we need more than anything on the planet is alternative energy development. And how to, if I go into the mosque here in Bloomington, talk to people about, we in the United States cannot, really influence the Islamic world through military might. The Islamic world cannot subdue us with suicide bombers. But if we put all that to one side, let's focus on that.
The United States can influence the Middle East by military might, but it's just not necessarily the influence you thought you were going to have. It was the same with us from the 1920s onwards. I mean, you always have an influence. You just can't predict what the influence is going to be. I mean, one of the big problems in the Middle East as a whole is its lack of effective integration, it seems to me, into the global economy. If you look at the Gulf, for example, none of the Gulf states trade with each other. They all basically produce energy. The energy goes to China, to India, to Korea, to Japan. And it's not that they're really competing, because oil is a global market, it's fungible. But they don't trade with each other. So when people talk about GCC being unison, I mean, it's just nonsense. The same with North Africa. I mean, it's always striking to me that if you're in Egypt and you want to go to Algeria, it's quicker to go to France and fly from France to Algeria than it is to try and fly across North Africa. And there's a problem with private sector in all of these countries. And I think in Saudi, so what Mohammed bin Salman says, we need to create an internationally competitive private sector to generate 6 million new jobs by 2030. There are 6 million jobs as it stands in the private sector in Saudi Arabia. Certainly not 6 million jobs for Saudis. So that's massive. The only way you're going to get it is if you open up the economy to competition, if you open up the private sector to competition, which means basically competing globally. And I think that probably applies to Egypt as well. I mean, Egypt is going to be far more difficult because there's 100 million Egyptians. There's 20 million Saudis. And the army is deeply implicated in the state in Egypt as well. The World Bank and the IMF have been talking about this for at least a quarter of a century, and it's still problematic. Because fundamentally, at the heart of this, it's not that if you create jobs, all violence goes away. It doesn't. But it helps. It helps a lot. And you can only create jobs. And we're entering now jobs are going to disappear because everything's going to be automated. You're going to get robots to do everything. Whereas in the Middle East, nothing's really changed in the structure of most of these economies for the last 30 to 40 years. In some cases, since the 1950s. So there's a lot to be said for large-scale economic reform. The trouble is, I think the costs, the short-term costs for any government in the Middle East of having economic reform are so high that they can't do it. In terms of energy, yeah, I mean, it's sounding to say, I think they want to generate half the domestic energy needs by 2025 or something from renewables. They do have a renewable program of some sort, it's fairly weak, whatever they say. But they could do a lot more. God knows the sun shines often enough. And it's also true that quite often it's covered by the sandstorm, it's covered by dust. But the Sinai, wind energy in the Sinai. But you see, the question is which comes first, political reform and economic reform. And there has to be some sort of complex sequencing in all of this. And one of the problems as well in the Middle East is the capacity of government to actually implement, execute any of these plans, which will be the big problem in Saudi Arabia, but to execute this. So yes, I mean, I think economic reform, economic integration into global supply chains, making the private sector more competitive, are all necessary things. But we've been saying this for the last 25 years. And I think it's going to be problematic.
Inshallah, I think.
Inshallah, when I was in Jerusalem, Salam Fayyad, when he was finance minister under Arafat, and then he banned the use of inshallah in the finance ministry.
Well, to any good Baghdadi knows, inshallah means no. And Allah Kareem means absolutely not. And with that optimistic note, please join me in thanking Saddam.